What is up, you guys? Thank you so much for stopping by once again, and welcome to Arca Scans, where we go over this week's potential movers directly from my scanner. Before we get started, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share the video with a friend so that you and them could consider joining our trading community in Discord called Arca Bulls. With that said, let's dive right into the charts. Okay, you guys, so we are looking at ticker symbol WINT directly from my scanner here with a pretty good average true range of about $1.40, right? So it's looking not bad for the coming sessions, right? So what I want to point out, first of all, is, you know what, screw it. Let's go ahead and go over the very, very silly stuff, right? Let's go over the candle analysis first. We have an interesting buy formation right here on the candles. Okay, this is a bullish engulfing on the 12-hour, which definitely has and carries some weight. Another thing you should notice that after a massive downtrend, when you do get a hammer candle printing at the very bottom of that trend, usually that can be indicative of a continuation to the upside or finding a potential bottom. Okay, you guys, so another thing that we want to take a look at here is, in fact, the volatility versus momentum profile. Please notice that we're already starting to contract from critical volatility, which is within the 90 percentile of volatility here, represented by this indicator BBWP. Okay, another thing that we want to do is when we do start that contraction phase from the expansion top, we want to pair it with stochastic momentum or a momentum indicator in general, right? So momentum will give us that bias for direction because volatility is direction neutral. Okay, another very important factor to kind of factor into this is actually the MACD on the 12-hour. Please notice that we are actually starting to get that cross above the MACD signal line, right, you guys? So this is looking not bad. Please notice that very, very, very small, little tiny green dot already here, right? Losing that bear pressure, starting that bull pressure very, very soon. Okay, you guys, another thing that I should point out here, you guys, is whenever we do see the DMI indicator, which is this right over here, right? So the red represents the bears. The green represents the bulls. So this can actually cross over back and forth within each other. Whoever is on top is who's leading the trend. When we are actually looking at the ADX represented by this dotted white line, whenever we are above the 25% of ADX, that usually means that it's a very strong trend favoring whoever is on top. And if you can see right over here, we actually are still being controlled by the bulls. And please notice that we're starting to get that little upside pivot here from the bulls, thus increasing the market trend for the bulls. Okay, you guys, so this is looking very, very strong. And also here on the SMI MFI indicator, which is stochastic momentum versus money flow index, please go ahead and notice that we are actually starting to get an uptick here on the stochastic momentum, and these little blue bars that you see in here, let me just go ahead and zoom in. These right here are indicative of actually money flow coming right into the asset. Okay, you guys, so if you're not already aware, I am a short-term trader. I am not a trader who actually holds assets for very long. I am actually presenting this for potential movers that, yes, are this week, meaning early setups before they actually make a bigger move, right? And please remember to use your risk management, right? So, yeah, like for example, yesterday's movers that we were looking at, PHIO, and also ticker symbol NVOS, those have already made the moves that we were talking about, right? So, very, very good type of short-term strategies here to hedge against our long positions, right? Our long hold positions or investments, right, you guys? So let's go ahead and now start puzzling up the pieces here, because we do see a pretty nice upside thesis here on the 12-hour. But we want to make sure that we can start gathering those puzzle pieces directly from the short term, from the immediate short term, okay? Let's dive right down to the 30-minute immediate short term time frame, just like we always do, and see what we have in store for this, okay? So 30 any day now, there we go. So 30-minute immediate short term shows that there could be a little bit of weakness, which is usually what we're looking for, right? To get long the stock or to open some type of position, right, you guys? So let's go ahead and just dive down a little bit into the shallower time frames here, maybe 15-minute, already facing that resistance from the 14-day simple, and the 5-minute as well. That gives us the potential loading zone. Okay, you guys, so let's just go ahead and start eyeballing the potential areas to kind of get long, right? Bi-hourly MACD showing an increase of bull strength right over here, you guys. Please notice stochastic momentum on the bi-hourly upside pivot, and we're currently increasing volatility. We definitely want to see volatility with an upside pivot and the moving average with an upside pivot for a continuation to the upside. But as you can see here, the RSI is giving us just a little bit of weakness, which could be indicative of that potential loading zone. Let's go ahead and just take a look at our moving averages. I can actually get a little more surgical by enabling from my algo here the EMAs, right? So let me just go ahead and take a look at a couple of those, as there may be an actually, actually maybe not, right? It's looking fairly strong already from the bi-hourly. I may actually have to consider going down one more time frame, actually maybe to the hourly, to see, because 152 could be one of those zones. Also 147, but that's very, very conservative, and I'm not sure if that's going to be overly conservative, right? So let's dive back down one time frame here and see if we have that a better potential there. Okay, we'll just we'll continue evaluating here. Okay, you guys. So yeah, still around that 149 level at the bi-hourly. Let's see what it's got for us. Pop. Come on. Man, TradingView is absolutely on one right now. Okay, you guys. So as far as the immediate short-term time frame, guys, I would actually have to express or actually have to display 152 to about 149. Wow, based on the EMA 20. Support levels from the hourly and the bi-hourly, right? So this could be a pretty good loading zone, right? So we'll just go ahead and continue looking into this. But please notice as well that we definitely have that EMA 7 located right at that 149 level as well. So if we go to the 30-minute immediate short-term time frame and take, for example, an inverse fib from, let's see, actually, well, yeah, we can actually take it from. Actually, let me take it from the overall range, right? So whatever high that we face today to the low that we bounced from, right? And let's see where we're currently sitting in the price action and see if we can validate that potential move back down, right? So very curious that we would actually land, just under the not 382, suggesting a potential touch of that not 236, right? So it is a potential that we can go there, and still I would actually have to favor the range that I talked about, right? 149 to 152 could very well be that range. Another reason why it would be that, right, is actually now I can be a little more surgical here and definitely adjusted, right? So still 149, right to that 30-minute gap, which could be used as an area of support. Of course, we just covered it, right, you guys? But there is no reason why we wouldn't actually be able to come right back to it to use it as a support before a continuation onto the upside, seeing the immediate short-term time frame weakness that we're currently experiencing, right? So yeah, very likely for us to come back down into that area. Let's jump on to the 4-hour time frame and actually see what we have there, so we can continue validating our potential upside thesis here for a short-term move, right, you guys? So let me just make sure that we are getting some pretty nice crosses here. Definitely, okay, increasing strength here on the MACD 4-hour time frame, upside pivot on that stochastics. We're starting to contract here below the moving average, right? And the bull strength is definitely coming up here. And please know that the ADX is sitting at a very comfortable 26.5% with an up thrust on that bull pressure. Okay, you guys, this is looking pretty good for an immediate short-term opportunity. Okay, you guys. So yeah, still favoring this downside that I was talking about. So the 4-hour is already pivoted towards the upside. So that tells us that based on even the 4-hour here making a bullish cross above the 14-day simple moving average, all of these indications to the upside tell us that the downside is very, very limited, and in fact could actually make an immediate bounce from that quick wick to the downside, right? So let's continue on here and look at the 8-hour time frame and see what that brings up for us. Okay, you guys. Yeah, TradingView just a little laggy today and kind of hindering my process here, right? So yeah, jumping back into the 8-hour, guys, actually we still have an 8-hour also, just very similar to the 12-hour. We have the buy formation, candle formation here, you guys. So we're looking at bullish engulfing alongside a hammer candle, right? Inverted hammer at the bottom of a trend, actually tri formation, you guys. Please make sure to notice here that we also have a tweezer bottom suggesting a potential continuation to the upside. So 3 bullish signals with a potential cross and starting to get that bull strength in the upper time frames, right? Upside pivot on that stochastic momentum, contraction phase starting, and we're actually getting that little pivot towards the upside here on the 8-hour DMI, and we're definitely at 38% of the ADX, guys. There is definitely something to look out for here, and we'll go ahead and go over those topside targets as well. Okay, you guys, so let's look at the 12-hour. We already did that. So now, in fact, on the daily, you'll notice a big change. We actually closed near the all-time low of 136, right? and also, well, yeah. So that's essentially where we closed. The aftermarket actually did make a nice move to the upside. So there is, yeah, the post market could be indicative of us continuing on to the upside tomorrow. Okay, you guys. So we'll go ahead and go over those upper term time frames later on. So now, as far as a move to the upside, let's just go ahead and see if we can actually kind of determine that, right? So I want for us to also keep in mind that I'm pretty much gonna favor the more obvious targets, right? So, for example, here the one fib at 184, 183, that would be an example of an obvious target, right? So, for example, like this, taking it, let's just say that we went in from the bottom side of our get long zone, right, to that one fib. That's already a potential 22% move to the upside. Okay, you guys, so there's also a couple other targets that I am looking at over here, but I'm not sure if we're getting a little too overly bullish, right? But we can actually take this to the top side of this candle here, which is just upside of the 1.272 at about 199, right? So in this case, we would favor the 1.272 at 196 for a 31.37% gainer. And also from this area, we can definitely see a massive resistance right at the 1.618, which actually has to do with the opening of this candle here, the closing of this candle right here, the wick low of this candle here, and the support touch of even this candle right over here, you guys. So that could be, I mean, it's possible, right? But sometimes these targets, when we're getting a little too greedy, right, don't tend to fulfill. But please know that there is a potential 42% gain here on this move. Definitely keep an eye on ticker symbol WINT. Okay, you guys, and first and foremost, please remember that I am not a financial advisor. Take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment, as I cannot suggest for you to buy or sell any assets whatsoever. I need you to do your own DD, your own due diligence, and everything will be cool. Okay, you guys, but with that said, I wish you well, a very good night, and I will catch you at the bell mañana. Adios.